Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Easy English Stories. The story today is not so easy. This is suitable for upper intermediate to advanced learners. It's also different because today's story is a non-fiction story. This story is about a woman named Harriet Tubman, an important figure in American history. Listen and find out more about her life. At the end, we'll talk about vocabulary. If you like this story, please remember to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Here is the story of Harriet Tubman. I came into this world in the year of 1822, when the nation was torn apart by a bloody war over slavery. My name is Harriet Tubman, and I am a daughter of Africa, a child of God, and a soldier of freedom. I was born into slavery on a plantation in Maryland, where I endured the horrors of whippings, beatings, and separation from my family. I had a strong spirit and a fierce will, and I dreamed of escaping to the land of liberty. I made my daring escape when I was 27 years old, with the help of the Underground Railroad, a network of secret routes and safe houses that led slaves to freedom. I followed the North Star, guided by faith and courage. I crossed rivers, mountains, and forests, hiding by day and traveling by night. I reached Philadelphia, where I tasted freedom for the first time. But I wasn't satisfied. I vowed to return to the South and rescue my people from bondage. I became a conductor on the Underground Railroad, making 19 trips back to the South and leading more than 300 slaves to freedom. I never lost a passenger, and I never turned back. I faced many dangers and enemies along the way, but I outsmarted them all. I used disguises, codes, and secret signals to communicate with other agents and allies. I carried a pistol and a knife for protection, and I wasn't afraid to use them. I was known as Moses, because I led my people out of Egypt. I was not only a liberator, but also a warrior, a spy, and a healer. I joined the Union Army during the war, serving as a scout, a spy, and a raid leader. I gathered valuable information about the enemy's movements and plans. I led hundreds of black soldiers in daring attacks on plantations and Confederate camps. I freed thousands of slaves along the way. I was the first woman to lead an armed expedition in the war, the Combahee River Raid, which was a stunning success. I also nursed the wounded and sick soldiers and refugees with my herbal remedies and compassion. I met many great men and women who shared my cause, such as Abraham Lincoln, Frederick Douglass, and John Brown. I supported the abolition of slavery, the rights of women, and the dignity of all human beings. I survived the war, but I also faced many challenges and struggles in the aftermath. I fought for recognition and compensation for my services to the nation. I faced discrimination and injustice from both whites and blacks. I campaigned for civil rights and suffrage for African Americans and women. I established a home for the elderly and destitute in Auburn, New York, where I cared for them with love and generosity. I also wrote a book about my life and adventures with the help of a friend. I died in 1913 at the age of 91. I was buried with military honors in Auburn Cemetery. I was a hero of the Civil War, but I was also a prophet and a pioneer. This was my story. Now let's talk about the vocabulary. There was a lot of really cool vocabulary in this story. I especially like the collocation to taste freedom. First, to be born into something. This means to be born in a certain situation. Harriet Tubman was born into slavery. Fierce. Fierce is an adjective that usually means angry and aggressive in a way that's frightening and scary. But in the context of emotions, the way it was used in this story, it means showing strong feelings, a lot of activity. Will, as a noun. You notice that it's a noun in this story. So will as a noun means the ability to control your thoughts and actions in order to achieve what you want to do. Another way to say this is a strong and determined desire to do something that you want to do. This is usually used in collocations, like fierce will, strong will. Root. There are two ways to say root in English. There's route and also route. Yeah, I usually use route. This means a way that you follow to get to one place from another place. To outsmart is to gain an advantage over somebody by being cleverer than they are. A conductor. This has a few meanings in English. In this story, it was not the literal meaning of conductor, and you'll see what I mean. So a conductor is a person who stands in front of an orchestra and directs it. It's also the person in charge of a train and travels with the train but doesn't drive the train. Conductor will check your tickets. Make sure that you paid for your train trip. Next, the Underground Railroad. So the Underground Railroad was a network of people, white people and freed slaves, who all worked together to help runaway slaves from southern states, slaveholding states, travel to states in the north of the United States and also to Canada. And in these places, slavery was illegal. A warrior. This is a noun. And a warrior is a person who fights in a battle or a war. Plantation. Plantation, a noun. And a plantation is a large area of land, like a farm in a hot country, in a hot place, where crops like coffee, sugar, rubber, cotton, tobacco are grown. And the wounded. Another noun. Wounded is a noun. The wounded are people who are hurt but not killed in a war. Refugees. A noun. Refugees are people who are forced to leave their homes because of war, political reasons, religious reasons, or some other serious reasons. A remedy. A remedy is a way of dealing with or improving an unpleasant or difficult situation. Often used in the context of medicine. We'll often say a remedy for some illness is a medicine. Compassion. Compassion is, a noun again. This is an uncountable noun. Compassion is a strong feeling of sympathy for people or animals who are suffering and a desire to help those people or animals. Abolition. Another noun. Abolition is the ending of a law, a system, or an institution. And oftentimes in the United States, abolition is discussed in terms of slavery and ending slavery. Dignity. Another noun. Dignity is a calm and serious manner that deserves respect. To treat someone with dignity means to treat them in a calm and serious manner that deserves respect. Compensation. Compensation is, it's usually money. This is something that somebody gives you because they have hurt you or they've damaged something that you own. Injustice. Injustice is an unfair act or situation, or it's also an example of unfair treatment. Suffrage. Suffrage is the right to vote in elections. Destitute. Destitute is a very cool C1 level word. It means without money, without food, without the things necessary for life. We'll often say completely destitute. To establish. This means to start or create an organization or some system. A prophet. A prophet is a person sent by God to teach the people and to give them messages from God. A pioneer. A pioneer is a person who is the first to study something and to develop a particular area of knowledge or culture, and then other people continue to develop that. And again, thank you for listening. Remember that this story is a little bit different than the other stories on this channel because this was a nonfiction story. If you like this story, make sure to leave a comment. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you and take care.